Hello everyone, PsyStarcraft here with another StarCraft 2 game. We have vileSpanishiwa on the bottom right as the blue Zerg player. In the bottom left we have NEXLyn, part of the team Nex, home of Nex Genius. I don't know if he's still in Nex anymore. But Nex Genius won BlizzCon 2010, I believe. And that's this guy's teammate. NEXLyn is Nex Genius's teammate. Lots of other good players on Nex. You guys probably follow the team a lot better than I do, but he is a Korean player, and Spanish is being matched up against him. I don't know the context of this game, whether it's on the Korean ladder, if Spanish has a Korean account, or if it's a part of a tournament, maybe the GeForce tournament or something like that. I don't know, but hopefully you have a good. Oh my goodness, that is not appropriate. I am a male. Oh, wait, You're a mama's boy. How can you have my child if you're a dude? Well, anyway, Nex Genius is sending out that early probe scout. Protoss players will do this oftentimes to prevent any kind of fast expansion from a Zerg player. Usually, they will block it with the pylon. If they don't block it with the pylon, they will react by producing a forge. We see a pylon here. No forge or no gateway yet. But NEXLyn is going to check out to see if Spanish is planning to expand, and he doesn't see any kind of spawning pool, so he's got to be a bit suspicious. And notice he's holding off on building a forge or a gateway or anything like that. He wants to make sure he knows what Spanish is doing before committing to anything. And down goes the spawning pool. He still has not seen that spawning pool, and as a result, NEXLyn is going to throw down that forge. Now remember, Lyn might not be reacting completely to whether or not Spanish gets a hatchery or a spawning pool. He's probably just getting the forge because he himself wants to try fast expansion 2-base forge style. So it's safe all around. It's not like he's losing out by getting that forge first. However, if Spanish chooses to do something aggressive with his spawning pool, Lyn's going to need to defend pretty carefully. I mean, if you go Ling Roach, it can be really dangerous if you don't have proper force fields, if you don't have maybe some Void Rays or something like that. So Lyn's got to be careful about that. Now, how Spanish reacts to this is going to be extremely interesting. Is he going to try for two-base aggression, or is he going to try for a quick third base? We'll have to see. I, for one, like some kind of two-base aggression with kind of like some tech, just because I haven't really mastered the three-base play yet. I don't know the gas timings and tech timings and things like that. So we'll see what Spanish chooses to do, and maybe I'll learn from his reaction to a forge fast expansion. Gateway now going down, as well as another pylon. We should see some cannons here pretty soon, as there are some Lings on the way. One Ling just kind of chilling, looking for any kind of pylons that are going to cannon him out. The other Ling will be chasing this probe off, and so that probe can't just set up proxy pylons all over the map. Always a good idea to just send one Ling to just auto-attack a probe, and you see this probe isn't really going to be able to do anything while this Ling is chasing it. So here comes the first cannon from NEXLyn. Spanish almost with that expansion up. The supply count is 23 to 20, 19 to 18 on the harvester count. Zerg usually starts out pretty far behind against a Protoss, especially when a Protoss is fast expanding. But as their injects get up there, they start to catch up. So it's not uncommon to see something like 20 to 18 or even like 25 to 20, which it might become eventually. So if you're watching a replay against a toss, do not feel bad if the toss is way ahead of you in the early game in harvesters. But actually, Spanish, having only produced 2 Zerglings, actually doing a pretty good job of keeping up right now. It's 21 to 21. NEXLyn doesn't look to be using there we go, there's the chrono boost. I was gonna say, I don't know if he's using chrono boosts on these Nexuses, because he's actually behind by 2 harvesters now. So we're now seeing 25 to 23. I'm still curious to see what Spanish is going to do against this fast expansion play. This probe looks like it might have got out, or it might be a different probe. Let's see if this Zergling has a kill. Yes, that is a different probe. Maybe a proxy Stargate. I don't know. That's a pretty good location for a pylon and some Stargates to go down off 2 base. You need a lot of probes for that gas for those starports, but we'll see if that happens. And here come the Lings scouting outside of NEXLyn's base. A second cannon coming up, as well as chrono boosting a sentry, not feeling as safe as he could possibly. Really wants to get that sentry out. Kind of unusual. Usually you'll see a chrono boost of the warp gate, so you must be a bit scared. Here comes the evolution chamber from Spanish, and this is kind of interesting. Maybe thinking, yes, Stargates are coming and there are going to be Void Rays, or maybe a +1 Ling attack or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe some drop play. It's hard to tell at this point, but still, notice the heavy minerals by Spanish. Not getting gas, still not getting gas, and he's on 37 drones to 33. So much money being stockpiled, and this, I don't really know what he's doing right now. Is he going to go for a macro hatch? Is he going to go for a quick third and fourth base? He's saving up so many minerals, And I honestly, I have no idea what he's going to do at this point. I'm really excited to see. This probe looks like he is going to go down, and that was the probe that was right there just a moment ago. So no proxy of anything being set up. And here comes the Roach Warren. So it looks like we might actually see a 2-base attack. Now the thing about this is, usually on a 2-base attack you want it to come a lot earlier. And here come a couple Spores playing it very safe. He kind of fears that those Void Rays might come. Now if he thinks Void Rays are a possibility, it's kind of unusual that he's getting Roaches and is still on 2 bases because he had so much minerals stockpiled. Now he's busting down these rocks, so it feels like Spanish isn't really committing to much right now. And as I've said before, I'm really interested to see what he does out of this opening. Twilight Council now on the way. A couple more gateways. He's got 2 gateways and a Twilight Council. There it is. So he's going to have 3 gateways total. Harvest is now 43 to 43. Here come 2 more gateways, so it's going to be Blink Stalkers is what I'm guessing. Roach is not the greatest against Blink Stalkers. Lings, pretty good for soaking up the damage. The ideal composition would be like maybe Roach Hydra or Ling Hydra. Fungal growths are always good, but that's so gas intensive you can't always reach them. Plus the Blink Stalkers come a lot earlier than Infestors. So it looks like Spanish is just going to drone up pretty hard, and I feel like because considering his opponent fast expanded, I feel like this third is coming a bit late, way too late actually. And so I'm afraid he's going to fall behind in economy. He's going to be droning up at the exact wrong time, and when he's droning up, an attack might come. But this is SPANISHIWA. He probably knows what he's doing a lot better than I do, so I'm not going to doubt him any more than I have now. Blink is on the way, and we're about to see a wave of Stalkers, I'm guessing. And here come a couple, warping him down towards the Overlord path, and a robotics facility on the way as well. Probably not going to see any Colossi anytime soon. I'm assuming this is just for some observers. Meanwhile, Spanish taking his 3rd base. The supply count is down 91 to 65. That is deceptive because roaches are so darn cheap for how much food they offer, so don't just look at the supply and be like, oh man, well, Spanish is way ahead or anything like that. Harvester's now 49 to 47. Now, this is unusual. It's a very passive game. I'm surprised we haven't seen any kind of aggression out of either player. 3rd base about halfway done. And I feel like there's going to be a Blink Stalker push soon here. We've got 9 Blink Stalkers, 5 sentries against 14 roaches. Spanish is just now getting a lair, and he's really going to want that speed against those Blink Stalkers, that roach speed against those Blink Stalkers. We might just see NEXLyn wait for that +2 attack, and that's going to be tremendously good against these roaches, man. 16 damage on these Stalkers against those roaches, that'd be absurd. Absurdly good. Here comes some Lings for Spanish. And what has he seen? He hasn't really seen a whole lot. He saw those gateways up there, but that's to be expected. It looks like Lin might be preparing for some kind of Muta attack, or just watching for Overlords, trying to prevent any scouting. He's got a lot of Stalkers hidden there. And here comes Spanish, taking the center of the map. He's got 1 Ling on this watchtower. It looks like he was about to send a Ling out of this watchtower. I'd like to see him take that just in case. NEXLyn preparing to move out, busting down the pylon, and just like I said, terrible droning. Well, good droning, but he's droning at the wrong time. He needs to be making units right now, and this is what happens when you take a late 3rd base. You don't really know if you're safe to drone or not. NEXLyn just kind of chilling outside his base, not choosing to move in yet. +3 weapons, or +2 weapons is about to complete. Now we're going to have 23 Blink Stalkers. These are Blink Stalkers against just tons of Lings, which aren't going to do that much except soak up damage, and only 14 roaches. So this is not looking good for Spanish at all. I'm kind of worried, to be honest. Harvester count now 64 to 47, and Spanish doesn't even have roach speed. Is he even getting it? No, he's not. That has to be a mistake. There's no way he would intentionally, like, think to himself, no, I don't want roach speed this game. And that's going to be deadly, man. That's going to be so deadly. Infestors are on the way, but I feel like this is going to be too late. NEXLyn needs to move in right now. Here he comes. So many Stalkers, man. 28 Stalkers to 13 roaches and 46 Lings. Not to mention these 5 sentries with full energy. That's 20 force fields. That's going to make the Zerglings completely useless. Even more useless than they would be against just plain Blink Stalkers. Queen going down. All these tumors being taken out from this observer. Overseer on the way, but that's not going to matter. I don't like SPANISHIWA's chances here. He does have a couple Hydras. The unit count is now 11 Hydras, 12 Roaches, and tons of Lings against this huge army of Blink Stalkers and Sentries. 1 Guardian Shield going off. terrible force fields, wasting a lot of energy right there, doing absolutely nothing with those force fields. Not only did they not do anything, but they're overlapping way too much. You want to try to spread your force fields out as much as you can to get ample use out of them. So one sentry now depleted of almost all of its energy. Looks like NEXLyn will be going around to the third base. Spanish does not say this. Yes, he does actually. Is he going to go for the counter? Looks like he's trying to get us around with these links. He might pick off a couple of Stalkers, but in they come, and this is reaching a critical number of Stalkers where you just cannot beat it with Roach Hydra Link. You need something more. You need Fungals, you need Broodlords, something like that, and I'm scared for Spanish right now, man. This is just so extreme. He did what you don't really want to do as a Zerg, and that's let a Protoss get that critical mass of whatever units. But he does have drops. A lot of Roaches and Hydras being dropped on, but the Stalkers are going to freaking run away. Oh, and he's got that Ling surround. That's so many Roaches, man. Where'd all those come from? 36 Roaches now, 13 Hydras, and Ling's just soaking up some damage. So this came out of nowhere, man. I think Spanish might actually have a chance. Decent force fields right there, but we need to see some Blink Micro out of NEXLyn. Is it going to happen? No, Spanish is going to back off, getting a lot of units picked off, but now in it he comes again. Roaches in the front. He needs to move those Roaches up a little bit closer so they can all be attacking. You can see them moving around in the back, and now blinking away is NEXLyn. It looks like Spanish might actually hold this. Those drones are paying off, man. He's got those extra 15 drones that he made right as this attack was coming, and because he was able to defend this attack for so long, it's paying off economically. He's able to rally tons of units, +2 attack coming for Spanish, +3 just now finishing for NEXLyn. This is crazy. I cannot believe Spanish was able to rally so many Roaches and actually hold this off for as long as he has. Oh man, 30 Roaches, 10 Hydras, and 7 Lings against 38 Stalkers. Those Stalkers have +3 though, and if we see some Blink Micro out of NEXLyn, it could be dangerous for him. These Hydras are not getting focused down. They're dishing out so much DPS. A couple of them now dropping, but here we go. Here comes the Blink Micro, and it's looking great for NEXLyn. Only losing 7, 8, 9 Stalkers. Spanish losing tons of Roaches, and he might just get overwhelmed here. I don't know, man. He's rallying like a boss. He's got 9 more Roaches, 3 more Hydras. Out come the drones, and the Blink inside the kill shots. You always want to blink into an enemy army when you know your Stalkers have them severely outnumbered. And indeed, Nex does have Spanish outnumbered, and the GG from Spanish. Man, that was intense. I feel like Spanish really needed that third base earlier and to commit to the droning, because he just wasn't completely ready for the Stalker, the Blink Stalker push. That +3 was insane, man. And the rallying of the units came a bit late. He almost defended it, though. That was actually really impressive. I love seeing Spanish play against these Koreans, and he was right up there with him. Just a couple things he could have changed, and he would have won that game. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. That was intense, man. +3 Blink Stalker timing. That is crazy. As always. And who wants a coupon for $2.50 off a Frito variety pack? I don't. I know that.